Coach Afia Jordan here from North Central High School. She is the head basketball coach there, and she's here so that we can talk about her big win last week at the Louisiana State Championship game. You've been at North Central High School for 4 years now, okay? Tell me a little bit about your journey there and how did you get to the point that you're at now?
I'm actually an alumni from North Central, and I taught there 2 years, and then I had left and gone to OHS. At OHS, I had coached the girls, but I had decided to stop coaching. I just felt as if one of the biggest things that I look for in any journey in life is for growth. And I didn't feel as if I was growing. I didn't feel as if the girls were growing. And so I stepped away from it. I stepped away from coaching completely. I ended up just coaching my little boys' biddies team. And once I reached out to a family friend, community member from the LeBeau area, and we were just talking in casual conversation. And I had mentioned to her that, if I could have a do-over, right, that I would go back and I would coach boys. And so I guess you never say never and challenge God, right? Because I said I would never coach boys. I would never coach again. That's what I had said. And probably a year later, she had called me over the summer saying that another coach had left North Central and that she felt as if I would be a good fit if I really felt like that. I went through the interview process, and Mr. Bush had faith in me. I took a leap of faith, and look where we are now. So it all worked out for the greater good.
Exactly.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
so glad that you did?
Oh, absolutely. And as I mentioned before, the biggest thing I look for is growth. And during that period of time, I've seen myself grow tremendously as a person. So even if it wasn't for the championship, I'm grateful to be in this very moment because of what it's doing for me.
Right. And we all need to feel
Yes, ma'am.
a sense of accomplishment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you absolutely, I'm sure, feel that at this moment, and just interacting with the guys and knowing that they really respect you.
They do.
Because obviously, they wouldn't have gotten this far
ma'am.
had they not had an extreme amount of respect
Yes, ma'am.
and
I agree.
dedication to you. What do you contribute your success to this season to?
I probably first and foremost, I'm very a firm believer that God takes care of those who put faith in Him. And this season, what I found I did differently was, number one, I stopped leaning on my own understanding so much and gave things to Him that I shouldn't have been carrying. I trusted in Him to trust in myself more. Probably the second thing, this coaching staff this year has been like extraordinary. One of the young men actually was my brother-in-law, Carrick. He's been with me for the entire 4-year span, and he actually had gotten a job outside of education, but he continued to volunteer his time. He drives all the way from Baton Rouge, but on the weekends and the games, he's the soft-spoken one that the boys need.
That's dedication.
Right, exactly. Ray Vaughn, he is my assistant coach that he went to school at North Central. Younger man, but he's more aggressive. He's like me. So he and Carrie kind of, were the opposites of each other, but was what the boys needed. Coach Arnold, he came from White Castle. So I felt he was so important because White Castle had beat us so many times in the past, in the history. And so he brought that championship mentality because he was on the championship team at White Castle. And so he constantly challenged them to do what they needed to do. And then Crystal was our strength and conditioning coach. And I went back and looked at videos last night, actually, of some of the things she was making those boys do. And I said to myself, God, I see why they were mentally tough if they could do all of this. So my coaching staff, was awesome. And then the third thing was the support of the school and the community. I've been through ups and downs with them where they didn't trust me all the time, but every time we've grown together. Again, my big thing is growth, right? And so I've watched them grow with me I've watched them accept me. I've watched them be able to tell me things in a positive way and give me constructive criticism. The parents this year were outstanding as well. So all of those things combined, just the young men and how much they chose to grow this year, all were contributing factors to their success. So it just was a great year.
That's
And,
outstanding.
yeah, it was almost like the only thing that it was like the championship was the exclamation point of just to show how everything just came together this year.
Yeah, the icing on the
Yes,
cake,
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
You had a tremendous showing of support
Yes,
at that
ma'am.
game. I was amazed at the amount of people that were
Yes,
there
ma'am.
with their blue and white.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
was really something
It
to
was
see.
awesome.
It was really nice to see.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your biggest challenge being a female coach coaching a boys basketball team?
Um, the first thing that I felt was me having to adjust that I did coach girls and to understand that young men were different. The tempo of the game, the more disciplined nature of the game, and things of that sort. So it was me adjusting from being a woman coach and knowing things that a woman knows and having to adjust to a male sport. It is a tremendous difference between the two. You know, I know basketball is basketball, but there was an adjustment that I had to make. So that was a challenge. The second thing was, having to try to find a balance to communicate with the boys. I think I said it in the interview after the game, but I think oftentimes I came across as a bashing mom, that never a heckling mom, things like that. And they wouldn't take it personal like girls do, but they couldn't handle, how a boy loves their mom, and
Yes.
so I think to an extent that me constantly chastising them, at times it was just too much. So it was finding that balance in order to be able to make them believe that I'm gonna challenge you, but I trust you and I want to see you do better. So those things probably, I felt as if sometimes, but I don't want to dwell on it at times, that um, during the game process, I felt as if being in a female and a male sport, that it was times where referees may have want to let me know that they were in a man's world, So probably one of the things you notice, I was very quiet at the game. I've learned to quiet down on the sidelines so that I don't interfere with the process of the boys. If I'm too much badgering the referees and they want to prove something to me, they can. So I've tried to step away from doing that so that the boys won't have that, opposition.
Right. In fact, that was one of the things I was going to say. I attended the game and I was at the edge of my seat
Yes,
many times, and it was hard not to jump up. Well, I could do that.
Right,
Jump
right.
up and holler and cheer them on and then
Right.
say, what?
Yep, exactly. So I tried to take that emotional aspect out of it, that, we as women, we have that natural inclination to
Right.
be emotional. So I'm still very emotional. I'm still very animated, but I'm learning how to tone it down.
Right. Because I was wondering, how does she keep her composure on the
It's
sidelines?
not, at the end of January, I started having abdominal issues, bad. And it took them up until the first week of the playoffs, which was the third week in February, to figure out that it was my gallbladder. So I actually stayed out for a month. And
Oh.
my assistant coaches took care of all the games. My first time officially being on the bench was for the semifinals at the Dome, right? And so I learned to trust the boys. So it made it where I didn't have to heckle the refs, or I didn't have to fuss at them so much because I trusted them. Being away that long made me know and believe that they had it,
Right.
So everything happens for a reason. At first, I was so afraid when they told me I had to have surgery. what effect would it have on them. But
Yes.
they grew up in a month. The boys grew up. I'm a micromanager, right? So I learned to let my assistants do so much more, and they showed me how tremendous they could be in it. So that was a challenge at the end of the season, me being out for that long.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I could
ma'am.
see where that would be a challenge. What was your biggest nail biting moment? Like, and there probably were many of them.
I expected them to play us in the zone and man to man. Well, we had talked about the game plan if they would go man to man. Well, we went man to man, and I was confident. I was like, oh, that's just what I was waiting for. If we do that, then we're good to go, right? So the guys did exactly what I said on the first play. They ran it. This is what y'all have to do. This is their weakness. Do it. After that first time, they started doing whatever they wanted to do. And so when they started not sticking to the game plan, I guess you can call it, I wondered how long it was going to take for either one, for Booker T to run out of gas, or for them to start doing what I expected them to do. Thank God Booker T ran out of gas, and we just had a little more in our tank, because it did make me nervous when they didn't stick to what I had told them to do. So at the end, Booker T picked up the tempo, and that's what I did not want. I wanted to control the tempo of the game. And so when they picked it up, it played into their favor. We turned the ball over a lot. We made bad decisions, but thank God that at the very end they pulled it together. The last 2 minutes we pulled it together, and there was just enough time to do what we had to do.
They really did. At one point, I think they were 2 points. They had a 2 point, and that was the first time in the game.
Right.
And so that was when I was myself. I was concerned. I had a little bit of concern, but then
all of a sudden,
it's like they got a second win and they knew what to do.
In our 6 losses, each time we had those losses, we would score in single digits in a quarter or 2 quarters. And I always told the guys, we can always pull out, but if we're not putting points on the board, we're not going to win well. The third quarter, we had 8 points. We ended the quarter scoring 8 points. So I said, oh, because the previous game we were down by 17. And I kept telling the coaches, they were looking on, I said, look, we scoring double digits, we good. And so every quarter we scored double digits in the semifinals. Well, when we scored those 8 points, I said, oh my, we're going to have to do something at this point.
Right. That's where I was concerned in the third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, they ran away with it. Yeah, it was great. What did you feel at that very moment when you saw that clock winding down to 0?
It was so surreal. I mean, even now to this very moment, I think sometimes I'm trying to grasp that it really happened. We big on speaking things into existence, and so every time we broke the huddle this year, we ended with "Thank you, God, we are champions." So we believed it, and so to see it actually happen, it was just a surreal moment. Part of me wanted to be a coach, and I knew he had that many turnovers. I knew he didn't play, and so the coaching part of me wanted to look. And I was like, "Wait, we don't have any more games after this. This is it." So it was
relax and bask in the moment, right?
So I don't think it fully hit me until Saturday night. We had gotten back home, and I sat in on my dresser, and I just laid down, and I was looking at it. We actually did it.
Wow.
So, yeah, but it was when the clock started winding down. It was big for us, for the community, and so it was awesome.
It's huge for the district, huge for the community, huge for the district. We're all so incredibly proud of you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was just amazing to see. It's history. It's history in the making. Isn't that the first time North Central boys basketball team has won the championship game?
They made it there 6 times before to the top 28. It was back then, and they never had made it to the championship round. And one of the things, every year we've gone around farther. So I remember sitting the night before and saying, okay, if it plays out like it's been playing out, we're going to make it to the championship, but we might not win because we always made it around farther and then lost. But this time, to God, we all had sacrificed so much this season and gave so much more of ourselves that deep in my soul, I knew that it was their time, our time. Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes,
Perseverance.
yes,
That's
ma'am.
what comes to mind.
Yes,
Perseverance.
ma'am. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much
Yes,
for
ma'am.
sitting down with me
Yes, ma'am. It's my
and
pleasure.
talking
I
about.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. We again, like I said, St. Landry is so proud of North Central
Yes,
High
ma'am.
School.
Thank you.
They're proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because also you were a part of history as being the second female basketball
Yes,
coach
ma'am.
in Louisiana to
Yes,
win,
ma'am.
coach a boys
Yes, ma'am.
basketball team to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
championship
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
and actually win.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's a great accomplishment.
Yes, ma'am.
Girl power.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So anyway, thank you. I look forward to speaking with your players and with your assistant staff, and we're going to do that next.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks.
ma'am.
I'm here to talk with Jalen Smith of North Central High School. He's a senior on the basketball team. What part of the game was your absolute favorite moment?
In the fourth quarter when the clock got to 0-0-0 and it finally champions.
I would imagine that would be a great moment there for you. Did you think y'all could do it?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you worked hard. What do you think that influenced you throughout the season to accomplish what you did last week?
Really last year, I ran track and I finally felt like I won state championship in long jump, and I wanted my brothers and coaches to feel what I felt last year, so it made me want to work harder for them to get a championship.
And that you did. I'm here with Derek Tisano of North Central High School basketball team. He is the district MVP. And I would like to talk to you, Derek, about the game last week. It's an amazing game. You guys came out with the win. Tell me a little bit about the game and what your role was in the game.
We try to keep everybody focused on the court, talking, knowing what I do. Like anything just to win the game.
You handled that ball very well.
I don't think so. I had a lot of turnovers.
I think you're very humble. Okay, so what do you think about Coach Jordan? How do you feel about her coaching your team, being a female coach?
We don't really look at it. She's smart. We just look at how she approaches you, how she approaches the game. She knows the game, and we just listen to her because we know that her vision is going to win us the game.
I'm sitting here with Reginald Stoner, a North Central High School basketball player. Reginald, what can you tell me about the game?
When the buzzer went off, I was just happy. I won the championship. But I'm just ready for next year.
You're ready for next year. I can tell you're ready for next year. You look like you're fired up about your win and moving on. Okay. What was something that was frustrating for you during the game?
When I want to play defense, right?
Oh, okay. So you feel like you may have made some mistakes along the way. Everybody makes mistakes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can you tell me, did you have any fouls during the game? No fouls. That's outstanding. Yeah. I'm here with Nakimbi Johnson. He was the captain of the team for their big win, their championship win last week, and he was also the MVP for the game last week. Let's talk about that. What can you tell me about how it felt to be the MVP?
Felt good.
Felt good, huh?
Yes,
What did you do when you heard your name being announced in the Coliseum as MVP?
Smile and just was thankful for my teammates and my coaches.
Did you run out to get that plaque?
And man, I walked.
You walked. Well, you're good. Y'all all have great composure. I would have ran there. Well, I want to congratulate you.
Thank
I think they picked a great player to be the MVP. I'm proud of you. Your district is proud of you, and I know your school is proud of you as well, and your team.
Thank you.
And your coaches. All right. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you for sitting
Thank
down
you.
and talking to me. I'm here with Jalen Wilson. He is a captain for the championship game. Can you tell me what your role as captain was in that game?
To make sure like everybody stay together as a team, and when things go wrong, just keep fighting through, just keep playing through it all.
What was your frustration? Did you have any frustration during the time that you were captain with some things that may not have gone your way or the
Right.
team's way?
Or when things not going right, everybody put their head down and don't keep fighting.
Your job was to pull it together?
Yes, man.
All right, you did a great job. Y'all managed to pull out a win. That takes effort from the captains. Yeah?
Yes, man.
All right. How did you feel when those seconds were dwindling down at the end of the game?
It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. Yeah. I'm here with Colin Joseph. He plays for North Central High School, and he's a small forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me, Colin, how you felt that moment that the buzzer went off and you realized that y'all had won the game?
I felt like it was a great experience for us, and I feel like we earned it, and we put in the work for it.
Yes, absolutely. What did you do? Did you just,
I was just excited.
you were
celebrating.
excited, celebrated? Did you jump up and down? And
Yes, ma'am. A lot.
yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so. Are you worried at some point that y'all may not pull out the win?
I was very confident about us winning. It
You
was
were.
just at times we fell back, but we had to pick the game up and play harder.
Yes. Okay, so what do you think the future will hold for your team?
I believe our future is gonna be bright, and over time we're gonna become a better team.
Okay, do you think you're going to be at the same place you were next year that you are this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Well, I sure hope so. Congratulations on your win. I am very grateful to you for coming in and speaking to us. I enjoyed talking with you, and good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here sitting with Aaron Johnson, a member of the North Central High School basketball team. Aaron, can you tell me about what you enjoyed most about the game and the camaraderie and winning?
I enjoy just playing with my brother, having fun, winning the championship.
Yeah, so you have a brother on that team.
Yes, man.
Well, who's your brother?
McKenzie Johnson.
Kimby Johnson. Y'all play basketball often?
Yes, man.
Play at home?
Yes, man.
Yeah, I could tell. You guys play well together?
Yes, man.
You don't fight?
Sometimes.
You guys did a great job on the court,
Thank you.
and we enjoyed watching you.
Yes, man.
So we look forward to seeing you back there next year.
Definitely.
You think that's going to happen?
Yes, man.
You know that's going to happen, right? All right. Very nice talking to you. Thank you for sitting down and taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here with Jamari Kane of the North Central Hurricanes. Jamari, what can you tell me about how you felt at the end of that game when you saw the time at 0 and you realized y'all have won the game?
Felt good because we finally accomplished something that we been working towards all season. And then when the buzzer went off, we all was happy because we knew we had did what we've been working towards.
Absolutely. Great feeling, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you think pushed you guys to get the win? What was a driving force in all that?
We knew we had to come back. Losing the prior season in the semifinals, we had to come back and win it all.
Yeah. Okay. So, what about your coaches? Did they push you guys really hard? What were their roles in ensuring that you guys got the win last week?
Kept pushing us in practice. If we didn't do something right, we have to keep doing it until we get it right. And they push us in the gym, out the gym. So, yeah.
And y'all respect that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm here with Lionel Harrison from North Central High School. I'm here to talk to him about their big win last week. Lionel, tell me, what did you think about the game? How did you feel?
Really, just keeping your head focused, really, and just executing throughout the whole game.
Keeping your head focused
Yes, ma'am.
and executing the plan. I see your shirt says keep moving forward. What does that mean to you?
Just whatever you go through, just keep pushing forward, and something gonna come to you.
Excellent. That's a good motto to have. Yeah, that's your team motto?
Yes, ma'am.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you for sitting down to talk to me. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm here with Tyler Randall, one of the North Central High School managers of the basketball team. And I want to talk to him about what his role is in helping the team to become a successful one. So tell me about that. Tell me about your role.
Well, my role for the team is filming, and I also pray for them very, very hard. And God has answered our prayers.
Absolutely. So you filmed them,
Yes.
and how does that help the team? Just to clarify.
It allows them to grow as they watch their mistakes, and it allows them to advance and build where they're weak.
Yes, I would think that once you see yourself, you can then notice your own mistakes rather than somebody trying to tell you what your mistakes are, right?
Right.
Because you can see them for themselves.
Yes.
What else do you do as a manager?
That's about it.
Yeah, I think you do a whole lot more.
Well,
But that's okay.
I try to keep them in line, motivate them to be leaders
Yes, that's important
on
too.
and off the court.
Well, that's great.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys do an awesome job at what you do. Congratulations on your win. We look forward to seeing you guys next year at the championship game. All right. I'm here with Trent Morrison. He's a manager for the North Central High School basketball team. Trent, can you tell me how does your role come into play in the dynamics of the team?
Well, my role is to get everything prepared for the game. So the players and the coaches worry about playing the game and winning it, getting the water, the towels, the clipboard, the book, so everything flow just right. And my job is to make the coach job easier so she don't have to worry about everything else. And my job is to wash clothes so they can worry about game planning on game days. And they don't have to worry about all that extra stuff.
Well, I think you do an amazing job at that. You have two managers and you'll work together, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm sitting here with Caleb Smith, a basketball player for North Central High School. Caleb, I would like to know, how did you feel when that buzzer went off and you realized that, hey, we won this game?
Words couldn't even explain it.
They couldn't, right? Hard to put into words. Yeah. How about during the season? Your coach, or coaches, I should say, did they work you hard?
Pushed us to be the best that we could be.
Pushed you to be the best that you could be. Well, you could tell it paid off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think the future holds for North Central basketball team?
Holds a lot, as long as everybody just keep coming out and putting in hard work.
Yes. What do you think about the fans' support?
Fans, they always there for us. They always there for us.
Yes, absolutely. They came out in droves.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think the community support says a lot about the team.
Everyone come together.
Yes, I like that. Good community support means a lot to y'all, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am. It makes us go hard.
It makes you work harder. Yes. I'm here with Coach Rayvon Gray, and I would like to get your take on what your favorite part of the game was, what you think contributed to your success.
I felt like my favorite part was coming out of the second half when we knew they was gonna make a run, and they did. But our boys kept fighting, so when the buzzer did go off, it made it that much sweeter.
Yes, and what's your contribution? I know you all have a part to play.
Like you said, we all have different roles and responsibilities, but I would feel mine probably is mostly player development.
Player development.
Helping them get better on a day-to-day basis.
Well, great job. I want to congratulate you on your win.
Thank you.
I have Coach Arnold Gore with me from North Central High School. He's part of the coaching staff. Coach Gore, I want to ask you, what role do you play in the team? How do you contribute to the team? What is your role?
Well, I feel like my role is just teaching and guiding. Also, when coach is being brutally honest, I'm the one that try to remain positive the whole time, just to let them know everything gonna be okay.
Oh, well, that's great. I asked Coach Jordan how she keeps her composure on the sidelines. How do you keep your composure?
I think I was just blessed with that gift to stay composed at all times.
That's great. I don't have that gift. But you guys did a great job, and we do want to congratulate you. We want to let you know that we're all proud at St. Landry Parish School Board. We're all proud of your win. All the schools were behind you, and you guys had a great showing, so we're extremely proud that people came out to support you. And thank you for sitting with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate the support.
I'm here with Coach Crystal Traha of the North Central High School basketball team, coaching staff. What is your role on the basketball team?
I'm actually their trainer, so I do their strength and conditioning.
Wonderful. Okay, so Coach Jordan talked about you and talked about how you kept the boys strong and helped, were, very instrumental in making sure that they were on their game. And so what else do you do in that capacity?
I help the boys with their mental strength, and I keep them on task and keep them mentally where they need to be in the games, stop them from blowing up and, doing some of the things that boys might do.
Right. And that's important. That's an important part because, if they're not very disciplined in their mental state, then of course that's going to reflect in their plays.
Right. And we try to teach them to be great men on and off the court. So that's a part of being disciplined. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Absolutely, we're blessed. I love every minute of it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for sitting with us. I really enjoyed talking to you.
All right. Thank you for having us.
I'm here with Mr. Reginald Bush, principal of North Central High School. Mr. Bush, can you tell me about your coaching staff and your the team players? Give me a little insight into what they do on your campus and how you believe they've gotten to the point that they have, because they made history.
Yes, I was very elated about the win. Have a group of young men who has really developed into better young men, hardworking. Some of them grades has really increased a lot. We have, I think the lowest GPA on the team is a 2.7, if I can recall correctly. Coach Jordan, although she's a perfectionist on the basketball court, she's very stickler for the grades. And they know in order to play for her, grades are a priority more than being on the court. So she has done very well in the classroom. The kids are doing well in the classroom. And for my assistant coaches, I think they have a group of coaches who's come together as a family. And it actually shows with the team.
And I could tell that just by interacting with all of them. You can tell that they have a camaraderie, and they act like a family.
They do.
And you can tell that that's evident in talking to them and the team players as well.
It's very humble kids,
Yes.
That's something I always tell them: stay humble, don't get the big head. And I think it showed this year in the basketball season.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I bet you're extremely proud of them.
I am. A lot of work behind the scenes, but it's all worth it in the long run.
Absolutely. So, North Central High School has made history now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we the girls did win the state championship in 2015.
Yes.
But this is the first time since the school for the boys to win the state championship. Been to the top 28 on several occasions, been to the semifinals, but never could get over the hump to the finals. And through hard work and dedication and believing in the system that Coach Jordan has in place, got us to the finals, not only to the finals, just to win the state championship.
That's amazing. We do here at St. Landry Parish School Board want to let you all know that we are very excited about your win.
Thank you.
We want to congratulate you, and we're so very proud
Thank you very
of
much.
your school and your team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so one more thing. What does your team look forward to in the future? What do you think is going to happen in the future with this team?
Yesterday I was on duty and I sat down next to my sophomore, Derek Tisano.
Yes.
And he was the district MVP last year. He was the parish MVP. He's just an awesome kid. And so I'm sitting by him and we're talking. And he said, Coach, I expected us to win. I really don't feel like this is something big. And he said, I think we're just going to keep doing it. And so with him having that mentality, he's one of the biggest leaders on our team. I watched him step up this year and just take those boys and demand more of them. And so I feel like with him in front, Nakembe in front, Reginald, all of them, I could name all of them, that they're hungry, if that makes sense. They believe and they see what hard work gets. The coaches and I were talking after and we say, okay, one or two things can happen. They can get the big head and then fall down, or they can keep feeding into this. And so hearing Derek say that immediately after the game, a point guard, Jalen Wilson, texted and said, Coach, what do I have to do better, to get better? How soon can I get in the gym? I think that, again, that these next couple years, even longevity, that they have the opportunity to just be a great dominating program in the state. They're willing to learn. They're willing to be better. They're willing to do better. So I really look forward to what they're going to do. We were parish champs this year. I just think the sky's the limit for them. So that's the hope and prayer.